welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet, Certified. I am your host Rebecca Felgate, and today we're talking about the top 10 scary parallel universe theories. Now, a lot of people believe that there are parallel universes out there, and actually we're just living in one of many. Actually all of these theories are pretty mind-melty, so you may want to arrange a nap afterwards. Before I get into this video, I want to ask you guys if you believe in a parallel universe. Do you think we're living in the Matrix? Let me know. If you do believe in parallel universes, do you think we can ever travel to another? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Also, do be sure to leave a thumbs up on this video and share it with a friend, and check out the links to our most amazing Instagrams in the description box. Stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to be reading out some comments. Alright, coming in at number 10 we have the simulation hypothesis / the Matrix theory. It seems that our mate Elon Musk believes that we could be living in a simulated universe. Of course he does. He said that there is a 1,000,000,000 to 1 chance that we are living in a base reality. 1,000,000,000 to 1. Really? Now the theory seems to suggest that actually we're living in a computer simulation just like in the Matrix. Word on the street at the New Yorker is that actually right now there are 2 tech billionaires secretly engaging scientists to work on breaking us out of the simulation as we speak. So, who is running this simulation? Apparently it is a post-human civilization. The long and short of the majority of the theories is that computers have already taken over and they're keeping us living in a simulation out of the way. Why isn't it a perfect utopia? Well, that just wouldn't be believable, would it? Or would it? I don't know, where's the evidence here? Well, amongst other slightly crazy suggestions, some say that the universe is a simulation because it seems to behave mathematically and is broken up into pieces, subatomic particles, like a pixelated video game. I don't know, I'm not so sure. Coming in at number 9, I do believe in this, we have deja vu. What is deja vu? Is it a glitch in the Matrix like Morpheus claimed, or is it a lived moment from our parallel lives, or is it some other kind of brain phenomena that we just don't know too much about yet? According to Dr. Michio Kaku, an American futurist, deja vu occurs as a result of a person's ability to flip between universes. Others believe it's because we're vibrating in unison with the frequency of another universe that's parallel with our own. Mind melt. I actually really enjoy Dr. Kaku's Twitter. He posts thought-provoking science riddles, plus his profile picture is golden. Coming in at number 8 we have the Large Hadron Collider is a time machine. Like, is it? The Large Hadron Collider is a 17-mile long super machine that smashes particles together at nearing light speed. Now the machine is based in Switzerland and there has been a lot of suspicion and speculation about it. Some people think it is possible for the machine to create microscopic black holes. Others say it makes time travel possible. There is an absolutely wild theory out there that an experiment at the Large Hadron Collider caused an Iberworld Airbus A330-300 to land 5,500 miles away from its intended location, and it caused a power outage across South America. An article on the website Freedom Fighter Times claimed the power released from the LHC was so strong that it sent a time warp across the planet. Honestly, I'm not sure if I'm here for that, also lol at the title of their publication, but others do suggest that the LHC can create conditions that allow matter and radiation to travel backwards and forwards in time. A lot of credible science articles have written of the possibility of creating a wormhole. Now this invites all kinds of drama via the grandfather paradox. If you travel back in time and kill your grandfather, does that mean that in the future you don't exist? Or does it create a parallel universe of alternative outcomes? Coming into number 7 we have what is at the end of a black hole. Recently we got our first ever picture of a black hole. Our knowledge on black holes is still a little sketchy. We only have what we've observed, and what we have observed has been pretty damn far away. We know that black holes are very dense and that they exhibit such strong gravitational pulls on all things that nothing can escape their draws, not even the fastest moving particles we know, light. What happens to the particles once they're drawn inside the black hole? Well, we don't actually know. One theory is that the black hole is a portal to a different part of space. It's a parallel universe, if you will. Now, towards the end of his life, the late great Stephen Hawking was actually working on a theory of multiverses that included black holes. He alluded to the possibility of a black hole spilling its matter out into a separate place in space-time, a new universe maybe. He said the hole would need to be large, and if it was rotating rotating, it might be a passage to another universe. He did say though if we travelled through we probably couldn't come back to our own, so I'm not sure if I'd want to go. Ooh, coming into number 6, we have every outcome / the cat theory. So let me tell you about Schrodinger's cat. This is a thought experiment and paradox that could imply multiple outcomes. So the experiment is thus: if you place a cat and something that could kill the cat in a box and you seal it, you would not know if the cat was alive or dead until you open the box. So, until the box is opened, the cat, in a sense, is both alive and dead. Are you with me? You might not be when I say the next sentence, but let's just say it anyway. So, electrons, little subatomic particles found in all atoms, can spin both forwards and backwards, but they can't spin in each direction at the same time. They choose an outcome. So, the cat could both be alive and dead, or actually, maybe it's both. According to the parallel universe theories of Everett and Davis, the act of observation makes a universe diverge, and both universes can exist. There's one where the cat's alive and one where the cat's dead. They both come into existence. Every decision or situation could create a different outcome. It creates a diversion in the current universe, making for more parallel universes. Universe I? Does it make sense? I guess the mind kind of boggles, but let me give you an example. There could be a universe out there where I didn't move to Canada, and obviously the world that I'm living in where I did. Obviously, for me, the difference in those two outcomes would have been very, very different, but then perhaps there's a world in which I decided to wear pink today and not yellow, which would still be different, but maybe less dramatically so. Or so I think. Who knows? Coming into number 5, we have the interaction. Michael Hall authored a paper on quantum theory, which includes the concept of every outcome. The cat both exists and doesn't exist, we just talked about this. Hall and a team from the Griffith University in Australia not only believe in the multiverse, but they believe that it interacts with our reality. They believe that infinite multiple worlds overlap and occupy the same region of space and time simultaneously. They think that the other worlds have subtle influences on our own. For example, strange occurrences, miracles, according to the interaction theory, are as a result of the parallel universes. Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought that actually your reflection didn't quite match up? Is it the multiverse? Coming in at number 4, we have the Mandela effect. This is classic parallel universe theory, and honestly, this one does freak me out the most because I guess we've all had one of those moments of thinking, damn, I swear that wasn't the way I remembered it. So let me explain. The Mandela effect is the name given to multiple shared but factually wrong memories. There are a bunch of people out there that remember freedom fighter and former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela, dying in prison in the 1980s, except he didn't. He died in 2013. Similarly, some people staunchly swear that the Bernstein Bears were spelt with an E and not an A, and honestly, I thought that the Looney Tunes were the Looney Tunes until I watched a video about the Mandela effect last year, and I was really confused because tunes doesn't even make any sense, does it? They're cartoons. Why? Other people also swear that Sex and the City was Sex in the City, but it wasn't unless you were living in the universe that it was. So yeah, the theory goes that you were right, you're just from a parallel universe where those subtle differences were in effect. I suppose this could also feed into the interaction theory. Coming into number 3, we have the bruises and cold spots of the universe. Stephen Feeney of University College in London announced that he had discovered patterns of radiation background left over from the Big Bang that seemed to suggest that our universe bumped into none other than 4 other universes at some point in its lifespan and is left bruised. 4. Bruised. Similarly, astronomers have found so-called cold areas of the universe. Now, these CMB cold spots are areas of the observable universe that we have interpreted in microwaves. Now, they seem to be unusually, well, cold. Many people call one particular area the Great Void. Now it seems that this area of space-time contains 10,000 less galaxies than other areas of a similar size in space that have been studied. A lot of people, including scientists from the University of Durham, believe this to be evidence of a parallel universe that is smashed into ours, or are they overlapping? Is this, once again, the great interaction that we talked about? Coming in at number 2, we have dreams and the unconscious. Some people think that dreams and the time spent unconscious allows us to access a parallel parallel universe. This is why we dream in 3D. Again, this is why dreams sometimes don't always make sense, because not every universe may have the same laws of physics that we do. This is why we often dream of people that are no longer in our lives that we haven't seen for years, because perhaps in a parallel universe they're still around you, or so the theory goes. Now this theory seems to be held as a belief by some First Nations tribes, and I don't know, maybe there is something to it. Building on from this, at number 1 we have coma stories. So this actually does get pretty crazy. Sleep is one thing, but extended periods of sleep or unconsciousness allow for people to access the parallel universe for a longer period of time. Maybe. There was a really sad story posted on Reddit by Tempt to Sassoon 7 years ago. Now they were involved in an accident and they were unconscious for a while, but during that period of unconsciousness they lived 10 years of a different life. Now in the story they say that he met a woman, he loved the woman, they ended up getting married, they had 2 kids, and they were happy. They were living an almost perfect life. But one day he noticed that something was wrong with the lamp in his living room. It was kind of melting and contorting in some way. It was after 3 days of staring at the lamp and many worried conversations with his wife that actually he came to the realization that the lamp wasn't real. It started to invert and take up his entire perspective until all he was aware of was red hot pain. Now he awoke from his period of unconsciousness and discovered that the 10 years that he'd spent with his wife and children simply weren't real. He dreamed it all up somehow. He said he spent the next 3 years of his life in a state of severe depression, grieving the loss of a wife and child that actually just weren't real. He thought he was going insane. He said, "I've had many personal messages describing similar experiences and 3 posters stating such experiences are impossible. I'd say that there needs to be more research done into brain function. Pre-med students, don't assume you know everything." Honestly, I don't know what it was about that story, but it really got to me. It was kind of horrifying and creepy. But the young man, did he simply awake in a parallel universe? This is just one story of many. I've read a lot of coma stories like this where people think that they've lived other lives. I don't know, has anyone seen the TV show The OA? For example, they talk about that a lot. Is it a sign of a parallel universe? Honestly, I feel a bit creeped out. So guys, thank you for watching the top 10 scary parallel universe theories. What do you think to this? Do you think that we're living in the Matrix? Are we living in parallel universes? Is there a world that exists where I didn't make this video, and is it different somehow? Do leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Before I go though, I'm gonna read some comments from a video that I think that you guys will love called the top 10 scary stories that will make you question your reality. So you said Danny left. No, he was my favourite. Most amazing top 10 won't be the same. I know, he's my favourite too, but he's still telling scary stories over on YouTube at Haha Oh No, so you can still watch him be spooky, what he does best. The Big Jobowski said, "How did I not know? Danny was a true Burkish delight. Almost as awesome as yourself, Rebecca. Man, I'm gonna miss him. Guess I'll tune into his channel. Keep up the awesome work." I'd say me and him, awesomeness on par. You can't compare. Thank you. Big John Bowski, I like your name. Yeah, he is awesome. But thank you for still watching the channel. It's gonna be amazing and we will keep up the good work. We do have 2 brand new hosts, Che and Eamon, and they are great. Change is just part of life, and I don't know, I think this is gonna be a good thing. But maybe there's a parallel universe out there where Danny still works on the channel and you can watch him if you can go through the end of a black hole. I'm babbling again. Kendall Staples was bringing the love. She said, "That was an awesome video, Rebecca. I enjoy watching you so much. You're so funny and you have such a great personality. I'll be back. I always am." Good, Kendall, I'm so pleased. I like it when you guys come on back and that we have guys that have been watching us for years. How many years have you been watching, or how many months? Maybe this is the start of your journey. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're thinking, who is this girl in yellow yabbling away? Subscribe, you'll see me more. Good, great, thank you. Please do leave a thumbs up on this video, share it with a friend, and I'll be back soon. Bye!